What's happening, guys, and welcome back to the channel. And George, the biggest transfer in the longest time I can remember, not in terms of transfer fee, but in terms of caliber of player, and one we certainly were not expecting to happen, is going to happen today. Lionel Messi will officially sign as a PSG player. It is a 2-year contract with an option for a further year. He'll earn around 35 million euros net per season with add-ons included. Right now, he's just arrived at Barcelona airport to fly to Paris to sign the agreement, with a press conference and official unveiling expected to take place tomorrow, being Wednesday. I mean, George, what's your initial reaction to this? Lionel Messi is a PSG player.
Can't quite believe it, and I won't believe it until I see him kicking his first football at PSG. It just doesn't seem real. I mean, I think I even said a week or so ago that I still expect him to play at Barcelona next season, that there would be a turnaround similar to what happened almost a year ago to the day. But wow, I mean, it is the biggest transfer in football history. It's gone a bit under the radar because of the circumstances, but I mean, it's madness, isn't it? I still can't quite fathom that he's going to be playing in the French league next season, and for a new club that, you know, he's left Barcelona in, you know, difficult circumstances, considering he didn't want to leave, and that the club is in a decline. So I think he would have liked to have left at a high point. But sometimes in football, it's not meant to be, and I think it's a big sign to other clubs that actually doesn't matter if you have the biggest players in the world, the club comes first. And what they haven't done is manage that club to the point where they've lost their best player and probably the best player of all time. So that's how drastic it's become at Barcelona. But fantastic bit of business, and I share my excitement with you about seeing him play for another club next season. Yeah,
Barcelona can only have themselves to blame in this situation. The club's been chronically mismanaged in terms of its finance and the players they've bought in and the money they've paid them as well. So they've only got themselves to blame. Obviously, as you mentioned, it's unfortunate for Messi. He desperately wanted to stay, but you know, it wasn't possible. And PSG was probably, for me, the only destination, the only team that could afford him. This contract that he's now going to sign was on the table last summer when he was indicating he wanted to leave, but he ended up staying. George, just a word on PSG now. I mean, it clearly strengthens their side, and the prospect of Mbappe, Neymar, and Lionel Messi in a front three next season is quite frightening. It could be one of the best front threes ever seen in world football. How do you expect him to fit into that side? Because, you know, he's 34 years of age now. He's still got plenty to offer, I feel. Do you expect him to play kind of as a false nine? Do you think he'll play down the right-hand side, maybe strike up a bit of a partnership with Hakimi? How do you see Mauricio Pochettino fitting him into the side?
Yeah, that'll be interesting. You know, you've got to take age as a factor. He'll probably keep him, you know, fresh for big games. And I think Champions League is going to be their main focus next season. There's absolutely no doubt that's what their focus is most seasons, to be honest with you. But I think he's one of those players that can play anywhere. I think you revolve the team around someone like that and go with it. So he could fit in anywhere. False nine, coming off the right. I mean, that's probably his most iconic position. But it's a frightening thought. You know, those three up front, they were going through a little poll on Sky Sports about the best front three ever. You've obviously got the Messi, Suarez, Neymar combo, and I think this could quite well rival it. And what a window PSG have had, by the way. Certainly one of the best I've seen, considering that they've got a lot of those players on free transfers. It's incredible bit of business they've done. Yeah,
George, just a quick thing on PSG's window. Obviously, they bought in Achraf Hakimi for around £70 million. They've bought in Donnarumma, Sergio Ramos, Gini Wijnaldum, and Lionel Messi, all on free transfers. Do you think this could be one of the best transfer windows by any club in recent history? Because I'm struggling to think it's a better one.
No, not in terms of the circumstances. I mean, if you look at the pandemic and actually how much they've spent, all right, they'll probably spend a lot in terms of the bonuses and wages and all the rest of it. But in actual transfer fees, they've absolutely smashed it. I cannot think of a better window from, you know, they've gone for experience in Ramos and Messi. They've got Wijnaldum, who's still got a lot to offer, I feel. And, you know, they've Hakimi, it's an unbelievable window for PSG, and they really now have to bridge that gap. So, well, they've got to win the league, and then obviously they've got to dominate Champions League. Now, I think Pochettino's got 2 years. The 2 years that Messi is there, he's got 2 years to get that job done. He may not even be the man who's there next season if they don't win the Champions League, but They've got to.
And George, there's no doubt that Messi's going to adapt okay to the French league. There's no denying his quality, but obviously he's never played in a different league. Do you think there's any questions that he might struggle to find his feet initially?
Maybe initially, but probably for external factors, maybe, settling in, family, language, all the rest of it. I mean, he's so used to one place that it's natural to feel a bit lost to start with, but he's got friends there. And ultimately, at the end of the day, his feet will do the talking, and his most comfortable place will be on the football pitch. So once he starts playing games and he feels a bit more part of the unit there, I think Poch is a perfect manager for him in terms of the arm around the shoulder, and he'll soon fit in. And once he gets going, he's an incredible talent. We all know that, and effortless. And I think the French league is even worse than the Spanish league, so I think he'll score an outrageous amount of goals there. I hope so, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it remains to be seen. But George, you touched on it earlier, the pressure that's going to now be on Pochettino as manager next season. Do you really think it's the case that if Poch can't deliver the Champions League this season, that he's gone? It really is Champions League or bust now for PSG, isn't it, really?
Yeah, I think anything less than a final, and I think he could be sacked. It's that brutal. They did it at Juventus iconically, didn't they, when they had a bit of a shock? So any shock exit from PSG, and he'll be gone, regardless of what they're doing in the league. So there's a huge amount of pressure to deliver now, but they have the tools to do it. They have had for some time. Unfortunate in their first final appearance against Bayern Munich, but I expect them to be right up there. They were, I think obviously need a lot of luck. They need the draws, and obviously they need to have a prime Messi. I mean, there's no guarantee that Messi will play well, but we all hope he does so. He's got to, otherwise he's in trouble, I think. Yeah,
I'd have to agree with that, mate. I think if PSG can't win the Champions League in the next 2 or 3 years that Messi's there, and with the front three they've got, they'll never have a better front three, I don't think, ever possibly. So if they can't get it down now, when are they going to win the Champions League? So the pressure's on. It's definitely Champions League in the next 2 years. Otherwise, they're in big problems. But George, just a word on the bigger factor. This is going to really put French football on the map. It's going to raise the profile of Liga. It's great for obviously for Qatar. The PSG owned by the Qatari royal family, essentially, with the World Cup in Qatar coming up as well. This is a massive plus for French football, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I saw on the news that they're going to start covering Serie A in England, which is positive. But it's almost a disappointment that we're not going to see a bit more of the French league. I think everyone will want to tune in now that Messi's there. There's no doubt that they're going to get much more popularity. There's going to be a lot more focus, probably a lot more plastic fans coming out the woodwork. I expect to head out the front door on a dog walk and see a lot of PSG shirts all of a sudden and people following them. So I think I'll be purchasing the Messi shirt as well. So they're going to get a lot more traction from it. And ultimately it's a huge miss for La Liga, missing firstly Ronaldo, and now Messi's gone as well. Neymar's also departed for PSG. So their loss and the French league's gain. I wanted to ask you, Charlie, as well. Did you have a favourite Messi moment in his time at Barcelona? I mean, for me, the goal against Real Madrid in the Champions League was one that stood out for me when I saw that live. That was incredible.
I mean, yeah, there's so many, mate. It's so hard to pick one. Obviously, that was an outstanding moment when they applauded him in the Bernabeu, like they did with Ronaldinho all those years ago. I think one particular moment was that one where he scored a Maradona-esque goal at the Nou Camp against Getafe, where he picked it up in his own half, just went through the whole team and finished it. So hopefully we can see some more moments of magic still in Paris. But yeah, as you said, George, I think obviously it's a massive plus for PSG, but it's a big plus for France and all the other teams in the league as well. I think there's going to be a lot more revenue coming into the country. When Messi's coming to town for that game, they're going to be selling out. I think it's a big plus for everyone. And let's see if he can fire PSG to that elusive Champions League triumph. If anyone's going to do it, it's going to be him. But I'm certainly looking forward to seeing how this season pans out, how he adapts to the French league and the Parisian lifestyle. And yeah, I have to say, I'll be joining you, mate. I'll definitely be buying that Messi PSG shirt, and I'll be wearing it quite a lot next season. But yeah, that's just myself and George's thoughts on PSG, Messi going to PSG, and kind of the expectation on the club now. So let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Can Messi fire PSG to the Champions League? As always, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and we'll catch you in the next one.